And welcome to Tipsy Gossip. I am Roz Mixer here with Marcy Diamond, the host, and Kinshok. How are you ladies doing tonight?
Good.
As always, make sure you share the stream. Make sure you share with your friends. Make sure you give a thumbs up, subscribe. If you listen to a streaming service, you want to see us live, go to the YouTubes and subscribe to Marcy Diamond. Just search Marcy Diamond. Subscribe to the channel. If you listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, all that good stuff, make sure you leave reviews, share, repost, all that good stuff. Let's get started. Where are we at today?
Well, what's your weather like? Because it's raining like crazy here in Florida.
Oh, rain. We got snow. So they closed schools today because of snow. So that's what we're on.
Didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
How much snow you got?
A couple inches, I think. I don't know. It's nothing crazy. I mean, I've gone to school in this amount of snow. We got a message from Tevin. Hello, guys. One of my favorite pog. Marcy, love you. Roses, kiss.
Hey, kisses back.
Tevin, make sure you give a thumbs up and subscribe and share the stream. Thank you so much for coming in. It means a lot.
Yes, thank you.
So what's new? It's been a while. We haven't been talking in a while. What's going on?
Yes, not much. Just the same old, filming and drinking and having fun all the time. Shouldn't be drinking so much, but I've been lately the last couple days. That's about it.
I've actually slowed down my drinking.
Yeah. I love having Bacardi.
Bacardi's good. Bacardi gets you right.
Yep. Tastes good. Gets you right. So, been going to bed really early. I went to bed last night at 8:30. The night before I went at 5:30. 5:30. Well, I could not believe it.
What time does it start getting dark there?
About 5:30.
Okay, yeah, it's about to say like 4 o'clock is getting dark. Like 4 o'clock is getting dark, and you might as well just the rest of the night's done. You in the house.
Mm-hmm.
What's new with you, Kinshok?
Nothing much. I get to go into work tomorrow.
Are you looking forward to that?
A little bit. It's my last day for the next 19 days. Yes.
But you always have Fridays off.
No, that's only during the summer.
Oh, okay.
So this is our holiday party, our year-end party. And it's my last day at work until the new year. So they will not see or hear from me until the new year. So we having our little potluck or whatever, and I'm taking taco dip. So,
dang, that's cool. 19 days. Woo!
I had that too, so I'm not bragging.
You got the amount of time too?
I'm off for the next 2 weeks too.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, I thought I was using my PTO and everything, but I really wasn't. And then it was like, well, you're going to lose all of this. And I was like, well, let me off for the last 2 weeks. And it was like, okay. And I was like, all right. And so I'm pushing a lot of content on my channel, a lot of streaming, marathon streaming. So
that's crazy. That's crazy that they don't say to you, oh, we can't give you the time off because you didn't put in prior for it. And so you lose it.
Well, most jobs are assholes like that. But, the state, my position where it's not going to be an emergency if all of us took off a day. Nothing's going to shut down. It just get done the next day. I mean, it's the DMV. I mean, there's no super rush on anything in the DMV. So,
true. Yeah.
I mean, there's a rush on certain things, but for the most part, you're going to have to wait to get something done. And even if we rush to get things done, it's still not going to go into the system until a couple of days. So,
true.
It is what it is.
That's good. You get to do all kind of shit now for your channel. That's awesome. And I saw you at 1.6. I was like, yay, go.
Yeah, oh God, thank you so much to all those fans. Yeah. 1,600. That's a big milestone,
Yeah, it is.
It felt good to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So what craziness in the world you want to start talking about first?
Well, the first thing we didn't get to talk about was Brittany Griner. I can't believe that they released her. I just can't believe it. I just thought for sure they weren't going to be able to do anything because it seemed like with this war in Ukraine, they're pissed off that we're helping them financially. So I thought for sure they're going to just be dickheads and not do it based on that. So when they did it,
I
I
still
was
think
like,
they were dickheads, but
yep.
I think they were still being dickheads, but it just was like, you know what? Because they knew they couldn't. They knew they were doing too much by giving her 9 years in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
It was like they knew they were wrong for that, so they probably just came back and looked at us like, you know what? We want the gun dealer. So
Yeah.
final offer, take it or leave it, and I guess Biden was like, fuck it. Let's do it.
People are so rude. I did a video on how I thought that was great and everything, and then everybody was upset. I was like, I can't believe y'all are upset. Anytime an American comes home, that's supposed to be good, you know?
It's fake outrage.
Blew my mind.
I said it Tuesday. I'm saying that's fake outrage. Most of the people who are complaining never even heard of the Marine that's still in there till last week, and so now they want to make a big deal about it. As far as the gun dealer goes, I think that guy is not as dangerous as they try to make him out to be.
Yep.
Because the fact that he was in a medium security prison in Illinois, he's not that dangerous.
Right.
Because if I was to go commit a crime and go to prison, I would go to a medium security prison off the bat, and I'd be up in there with him. So that tells me that it was all media creation, giving him a cute nickname and everything. But that's just my thoughts.
Plus, he already did like 15 years for it. It's not like he just went to jail for it and he didn't get to serve any time and then we took him out. It wasn't like that.
He was a gun dealer. He just sold guns.
Yep. And is he an American?
No, he's a Russian.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he was helping them, but then I was confused. If he's Russian, how's he helping them? He's not really helping them because he's helping his own people then. They made it sound like he was a traitor.
He was selling guns to allegedly people that hate Americans, but outside of the USA, there's a lot of countries that hate America. So you can, if you sell guns to 2-3 different countries, one of them's going to hate America. So, that's just the basis of it.
True.
I mean, maybe I'll just, I just don't see the big uproar, the outrage, and because they say he's going into politics now in Russia. They say he's joining some far right political party in Russia now. So
no kidding. My husband even said, "Remember the days when an American would get released and everybody was happy about it?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That's sad that that's not the case anymore." I said, "I know. That's a mess." So
nobody's going to even care next week.
I know.
I mean, the people have stopped even talking about it today. You don't see that on Twitter about it. So people have let it go. It's not even discussed that much anymore. Yep. I see everybody's filling up in the rooms. Make sure you get thumbs up. Make sure you say hi, give us a message and whatnot. I see y'all piling in there. Say hi, give us a message, leave a comment.
Yeah, I saw where she just played basketball for the first time. I just saw an article where she just played basketball like 2 days ago. For the first time, she started it out with a slam dunk, they said. So.
What's up, Rod? How you doing? How do you feel about the Brittany Griner, Rod? Let us know.
Hey, Rod.
For her to be like she's 6'9", right?
Mm-hmm.
For her to be like the only 6'9" woman in the league, she should win. They should win every championship.
Yep.
Because if I was 6'9", I was playing against 6'2", 6'3" people, and I could dunk.
Yep.
You're not stop. Just give me the ball. Dunk, entire game. But I watched a documentary about her. She has, I hate to say this, when she just got to prison, but she has the worst work ethic. And she they showed her packing a bag. She packed a whole bunch of candy and bullshit. I'm like, oh that's why.
No kidding.
Because I was watching, I was going to send it to my daughter. To watch. I'm like, I'm not sending her this because this girl doesn't care. She packed half her bag with candy and snacks, and her trainer's like, if she really put herself into it, she could be the best of all time, but I guess she's kind of lazy. Allegedly,
Yeah.
that's not me saying it. That was a trainer.
Right? Yep.
And
What's TNF?
Devin says, if I can get the message to come up, Thursday night football. As it starts in like a half hour. I'll probably turn on have playing in the background. Who's playing tonight, Tevin? So
I don't even know.
yeah.
I agree with
Says
Rod.
Brittany Griner trade was lopsided. Was it though?
You trade an arms dealer for somebody.
I don't think this guy's.
You don't think this guy's what? He's
an arms dealer.
I don't think he's this whatever nickname they gave him, the peddler of death or whatever they call him. I don't think he's that. I think he is just an arms dealer. I think he was just selling weapons. And that's not a good thing. But what we traded him for, she was suspected of drug trafficking, correct? That's what they got her on.
Yep.
That's not what she was doing.
No, she just had weed on her.
But that's not what they charged her with. That's why they gave her 9 years, is because they said she was trafficking.
Yep.
So why would you trade a arms dealer for a supposed drug trafficker? Because I don't think that's what she was doing. I think it's like he said, she just got caught with drugs on her. But
because they know the guy's not as dangerous. He's not as dangerous as they try to make him out to be. But if he was truly as dangerous, they would not make that trade because he's not dangerous. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I think.
What other outlets are saying is that they kidnapped her. They kidnapped her by, they caught her with this little amount of cannabis oil or whatever. And then they charged her with something major so they could hold her as leverage to get this guy out. I'm not sure why they wanted him so bad, but.
Okay, Rod, how long have you known about this Marine guy? Everybody talking about they should have got the Marine guy.
I've known about him since Trump, because Trump wouldn't make the deal either.
Yeah, Trump didn't think it was a good idea.
So if everybody's been passing on this guy, why is there such outrage about him?
Trump passed on him for political reasons, though. Trump was like, no, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Well, that's not the wording he used, but he refused to make the trade because, he wanted it to make it out like that the Russian guy was just this horrible, he was on the edge of Al Qaeda or something, and that's why he wouldn't make the deal. Because Russia offered to give the Marine for this guy.
I never knew that.
Trump said nope.
No shit.
But his foreign policy was what foreign policy?
Right.
But anyway, but yeah, but he's suspected of espionage. That's what they are holding him on, is the Marine. They're holding him on espionage charges. So I'm like, espionage, drug dealing, gun running. What are we doing here?
That was like that story out of One Beer. Did you ever follow that? That was so sad. That kid that went with a group of other kids to North Korea, and he stole a poster while he was going around with some group that was visiting somewhere. I forget where it was, but he stole a poster, and they were like, "Oh, you're trying to take that back to your country." Yeah. And then he was there for, I think, a year and a half. And his body got sent back. Basically, he was brain dead.
Oh yeah, that's the guy that he was like really, really sick when they sent him back, and then he died once he got here in the States.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was being held like in a political prison or whatever because he stole a picture or stole a poster or something. But stop going to other people's countries and stealing stuff.
Yeah. Everybody got on to me because when I made that little video that I was happy that she
would have been a good trade.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people going over there is not the same as being here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You can't act the same way you act in America in different countries. It's way different. They're not gonna play with you, especially if they know you're American. They really not gonna play with you then.
Yeah, I
You're a
guess we're
guest in their
giving too many
house. Would
freedoms.
you go to somebody else's house acting crazy? No.
Mm.
Act accordingly. And you won't have to worry about it.
But even if you act
If you come
accordingly, by you being an American in a foreign country, if that foreign country wants something from America, they will find a reason to take you into custody if they think you, like if I went to Russia, Russia wouldn't notice because nobody in America is going to trade anybody for me because who am I? I'm nobody. So they wouldn't bother finding a reason to hold me. So as long as I followed the rules and you know didn't cause any harm, I'd be fine. But they're looking for a reason when people of what they think America considers status go over there. They're looking for a reason to hold that person so they can get some of their people back.
Yep. And then people are saying they're afraid that this sets a precedent because it means that you can just kidnap people to get your people back. So hopefully that's not going to be the case. I don't know. I don't think Biden would do that again. He hasn't done it before. I don't think he'd be trading people left and right.
ain't no telling what Biden might. I'm pretty sure if somebody else go over there, I mean, who's gonna go there right now? I'm pretty sure Brittany Griner's never gonna go back to Russia. I hope she does. I hope she's smarted up and never going
Same
back.
thing.
I mean,
heard that too.
I hope none of the other basketball players go over there and try to make extra money in the off season because it's very. I mean, they're paying them good, but is it worth it?
That takes away $1 million a year from her. She loses $1 million a year not going over there.
Yeah.
Hopefully she can go to some other countries.
But I'd like to know the politics behind why they wouldn't trade the Marine for this arms dealer when they were willing to do it before, and why they wanted to trade Brittany for it. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to know the politics behind how that deal came to be. Because there's a reason they skipped over him and went to her to get this guy back.
Yeah.
Marcy, this question might be for you. Why is Brian Pumper blackballed out the porn industry?
I can't remember. I remember hearing it from somebody, and I honestly can't remember now. I really can't remember.
I think he was doing some crazy stuff. I remember hearing something about it. He was just like going up to random girls and asking them they want to film, and like I heard he's a different character. He's a different type of guy, like truly a different type of guy.
It was something like that, yeah. Random people trying to involve himself with random people allegedly instead of staying in the business. And then people don't like it once they film, and then they feel like you're like, God, I don't want to get in trouble saying this, but like whenever I talk about Ron Jeremy, some girl came on my page and said, "You're disgusting. What's wrong with you? He raped people." And I was like, yeah, I get that. I get what he was talking about, but I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about my personal experience meeting Ron Jeremy, how it was for me, what kind of person that I felt like he was when I met him. I wasn't talking about that I was okay with rape and all that stuff. I'm not saying that's what Brian Pumper did, but yeah, I got my head torn off because I gave my experience meeting Ron Jeremy. But people don't understand in porn that try to come in and make porn that there's a way that porn gets done. Guys get real handsy before the scene. They got to try to get into it with you. And then there's some girls that are like, no, I want you just to get it up yourself. When the scene starts, that's when we can mess around. There's some people that will let you kind of feel on them and get a little, a couple minutes before the scene so that the guy can get, like, I don't mind that. I'll do that. And there's so many girls that won't do that. There's probably, I'd say half won't do it. I don't really mind it. If I get the heebie-jeebies from the guy, then I won't. I'll just be like, let's just film. But you know what I mean? I'm not there's a certain way that it gets done, and I think someone new that comes in that's not accustomed to that freaks out by that and thinks, "Oh my God, you're raping me." You know, I've heard that from numerous people that I know in the industry have gotten claims from people that they've raped someone when they're just trying to get into the scene, and that's what they'll tell me that they were doing. And they're like, "Man, this person was so uptight." So it's got a lot of guys scared of filming porn. I was just talking about that the other day.
Oh yeah, because once you get a rape charge against you, when you was just, you know what I'm saying, unless you really a rapist, you really back off like, yo, I'm not gonna look at you until the scene start. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I had a guy that came in the room to do he was the videographer. He brought 3M tape. He stuck it on the back of this thing. He stuck it on the wall. He put his GoPro on the wall. And he said, "I'm sorry, but I have to film everything that happens in our interaction from this time this starts, me walking in the room, filming you to the end, because I had somebody try to say I tried something on them." So I was like, wow. He put it up in the corner, and I was like, how am I going to get that off? I'm in a hotel room. But it didn't come off. He took the GoPro off, but that thing stayed on there. And he said he has to do it to protect himself every single time he goes to film, because girls will try to say that you're trying to rape them. It's like, you're doing porn. What are you talking about?
That's gotta be crazy because, like, what can you say? You go in a room, it's a hotel room, you and her. No matter what you say, you're going like, I was just, trying to warm her up. Oh, were you? You know what I'm saying? There's no defense to it whatsoever.
Yeah, you can't win. A lot of these guys, I'm not saying every guy. I'm not saying there's no such thing as rape. I'm not saying any of that. It's just people that are not, that they're new and they come in and they just want to see what it's like. It's not so cut and dry that you just start when the scene starts, and a lot of girls think that.
That's gotta be crazy, because they expect you to be like a robot, just okay, action, bing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
That's what they want.
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't know. I never did a movie or anything, but you just.
I did a scene, and that happened, and the guy was in between. He was so unhappy. He was not turned on at all, and I was trying to help him in between takes. And the girl that he was trying to do the scene with in the beginning wasn't doing shit. She's like, "Go take care of it yourself."
Shit, I was like, well, shit, since she helping me, I'll do the scene with her instead of the other woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just me.
Well, I can't quite put my finger on it, but there are women that are like hypersensitive to anything.
Yep.
I mean, like, if you stand too close to them, they're like, why are you invading my personal space? What do you want from me? They're like hyper vigilant.
Yep.
And the guy doesn't necessarily even know he's doing it. I was just trying to get a coffee. What are you talking about?
Yep.
So some of that is like the perception of what's happening. I go by a gut instinct. If a guy makes me feel like ew inside, it's like okay, then I know to move away. I'll be like, no, get away, whatever.
Yeah.
But he has to be doing more than standing 2 feet away from me.
Yep.
For me to get that feeling. But there are guys that are just creeps.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just it just like comes off of them like pheromones. They're like, ugh. And you just know it. You can see them and you just know it. And I feel sorry for men because they have to navigate that. And you never know from woman to woman what you're going to run into.
Yep.
And it's not fair, but that's life. Because you can't tell those women that they aren't actually experiencing what they're experiencing.
Yep. They're just freaking out. Like there's a guy I know that I worked with that is getting accused of, this girl said he raped her, and he's got all the text messages to prove that didn't happen. After the scene, after she left, she's writing him, telling him how wonderful it was. Can't wait to work with you again. It was great. And then she claims like 3 weeks later that she got raped. And he had to defend himself, and he put all the text messages out online. And then one from like a week after, where she's like, "Do you have this? When's the scene coming out? So excited." That's when she said, "Can't wait to work with you again." And I said, "You're smart to keep that," because she came out after him a couple months after it happened. So it's a shame, these people that are, I'm not talking about real rape. I'm not talking about stuff that really happens that's bad. I'm talking about people that try to say something's happened and it's not happening.
Well, just like I was saying on the show Tuesday, that some people are super sensitive, where if you see or hear the word rape and you get triggered, you might want to go check in some therapy to get that taken care of, because, I mean, just seeing the word take you to some place, you need to get that taken care of. I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive, but you're going to see words that's not the most, like you see on social media, like everybody's always censoring their words and R asterisk PE, and like, just say it. No, you can't say suicide. You got to say unalive yourself. I mean, unalive.
That one really bothers me, because that sounds worse to me than the word suicide. They unalive themselves. I'm like, because I always think of decapitation when people say that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I do, and so it just sounds so much worse than the actual word.
And people like, it's also hard. It should be harsh. It is harsh. It's tough, but it's life. You got to do it. People sometimes do that, just like the dancer DJ Twitch. He did that, and people making all these conspiracy theories, and it was a sacrifice because Ellen's going to jail. I'm like, what? Why would Ellen sacrifice him? Ellen.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. But some people are so hyped up in these conspiracy theories because Mr. West is making them all thinking that every death is a sacrifice or it's something deeper, when it's really not. He was dealing with depression, and he felt that was the best way to do it, and that's what happens.
Did you just call him Mr. West?
I don't want to say his name. I'm tired of saying his name.
I just wanted to make sure I heard that right, because that kind of threw me for a minute. I was like, okay.
Like, I hate to sound like an old man, but yeah, some things are getting too soft. I mean, things have to be harsh in order to deal with it. I saying somebody unalived himself sounds like you're 5 years old. I'm sorry. It sounds like a little kid. He unalived himself. No, he committed suicide. It's tough. It's hard to talk about, but sometimes you have to talk about it. Oh,
Yep.
Excuse me, my voice is rough.
Yeah, I don't
You know
understand
who
it.
you sound like? Carlin.
Yeah,
because he was like said, the words, the softening of language.
Yes.
He used to talk about the softening of language, and he's like, because he went from shell shock to, PTSD, and now it's down to, whatever is watered down to now. He was like, no, that's what it is. And it needs to hit your ears the way it is, so you understand how serious it is.
Yep.
So you got a good point there.
And it's getting bad because people don't, they especially when you do videos on YouTube, you say, words and like, oh no, you can't say that. Why not? What am I saying that's so bad?
It's a micro generation that's happening to. It's like the late millennials, the early Gen Zers. That's where that is, because the later Gen Zers, like the younger ones, the smaller ones, and the older millennials, the parents ain't taking it no more. It's like a micro generation in there that grew up with this. Everything's got to be soft and fluffy and blah, 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 blah. Because I got grandkids that's not that way. And my kids are millennials, but they're older millennials. So they're like, they do the gentle parenting, but you get on their nerve for the last time.
Yeah, you're right.
Get on their nerve for the last time and see what happens. So, but yeah, there's it's a little micro generation of people that of children or young adults that's their life, and I'm like, no. It's like, I can't start work till 10 o'clock. Well, you can't work here.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep. The parents that wanted an award for every kid that participated.
Exactly. The participation trophy kids.
You know what though? If your kid makes the entire football season, takes the beating the entire year, they deserve something. I'm sorry. Give them a ribbon or something to show that you did it. You did that. You finished the year. It's a tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough sport. Wrestling, yeah. You finished this. Yeah, you took some beans this year. You stuck in with it.
But that depends on where your team ended up. If you are the last team of the losing team of the season, you get to keep your jersey.
No, you don't.
See you next season.
Not always.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what they should get. They don't get something they get to hang on the wall or sit on the mantle. You get to keep your jersey. You get to keep your cleats. See you next season. Hope you can improve over the summer.
Mercy, have you ever got stalked? Are you saying stalked like stalked or stock? What are you trying to say? Code freeze, retype that. I think you're trying to say, have you got stalked because of your fat ass?
I thought he was saying, have I ever got stuck?
What?
Stuck in
Everybody's got a different interpretation here.
Stuck in the chair.
Code freeze doesn't know what you're trying to say. All right, well, so what were you talking about?
So you should show that little kid.
I gotta find them again. Talk so much yourselves while I find this.
The little whoop whoop or woo wop or wop wop or whatever his name
said that I just sat over here laughing. I was like, oh my God.
He's like a sensation because he's, I'm gonna kill my mom, I'm gonna kill my dad, I kill my grandma. Like, wow. They gas him up like it's so cute. And
I have to go to the store in the morning. That sucks. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. But when you do that and you gas a little kid up like that, I don't know. I mean, it's cute and everything, but when he's 15 and he's saying "fuck you" and walking out the door, slamming it, and not coming home, that's when you're not going to feel like it's so cute.
No, that's when you lock that door, you turn out the lights, and you go to bed. And when his 15-year-old behind come back and decide, oh, I want to come in. Oh, no, you don't. Not tonight. You better curl up on the porch.
All right. Here he is right here.
What the hell?
Kill.
What the?
I want to kill my dad. I want to kill my grandma.
What the hell?
I want to kill my mom.
What the?
I want to kill my dad. I want to kill my grandma.
See, they think that shit cute. They sitting there laughing at it. What the hell? That's just dumb. Why is he dressed like that in the first place? Why has he got these?
Okay, that was
why
my question. Why is he wearing a collar?
So, see, they're exploiting this little boy to go viral on TikTok and all that other nonsense. Like, why would you teach your kids to say this? Why would you tell your kid to say this? Like,
what probably happened is he got mad at something and said those things just as a normal little kid. And then they said, "Oh, we can make some money off of this. Let's dress him up and do this."
Your dad go whoop you. Don't talk to me. I'll murder you. Making them people leave.
The pain
The pain in my heart. I want to kill you in the night.
It's just not even funny. It's just not even funny. It's like just dumb skits just to get some attention.
Yep.
Is he supposed to be this look? He's supposed to be gothic or something? Is this gothic or?
I don't know. I still don't understand his whole get up. His whole thing.
Well, Gothic people don't like him. I can tell you that for sure.
Really? Why?
Why?
Because he's 6?
No, because he's fake.
Oh. Well,
You
he's
can
a
tell
mess.
he's just like looking around for the camera. Like, where's the? Do I say it now? Do I say it now? That's why he's looking around. Like, do I say it now? I'm gonna kill my mom. Like,
Right.
Yeah, and nobody would tattoo a child that young.
Yeah, true.
that's like marker. It doesn't even look like it. It's like
I
marker
don't,
on
I
his
don't
face.
care what it is. It's fake because nobody would tattoo a child that young.
Hey.
Wayne says, "Hey, party people." I don't know. It's just asinine. I don't know. That's the word I could think of to describe it. So you got this kid talking this crazy stuff. Everybody, what the hell? What the fuck? Can y'all find something else to do with y'all kids? Show them reading a book. That ain't entertain me.
The
Now he's
fact
in
that
the music
Show your
studio.
kid doing the ABC.
the fact that kid is talking about, I want to kill this, I want to kill that's not what Gothic culture or people are about.
True.
Won't you explain to us? Because you
It's just they express their pain the way that they feel it. And they don't give a crap whether you like how they express it or not. They don't want to kill everything. They don't all want to die. We're not all mopey and sad all the time. It's just that if you ask us how we are, we will tell you about the scars that we carry. But that doesn't mean that we're not ever happy,
Right.
that we're always sad and no, that's not what it's about. It's about living your truth as who you really are.
Mm-hmm. Emo.
Shut up, Roz. I see that look on your face.
I didn't say a word. I was listening to what
didn't
you
have
said. You
to.
explained it
You
well.
did not have to.
Y'all sad emo kids. I get it.
Yeah, when I was in school, the emo kids
feel
always were
pain.
like suicidal and shit like that. They were sad.
My heart
I
is
don't
like
know how
this
they are
now.
bloody
Sad.
rose. It's just sad. I'm sad, and I wish somebody would talk to me. Check out my black, all the black I have on. I'm
Now
black
they
like
don't
my
all wear
soul.
black, right?
I don't
They
know.
never all wore black. A lot of them had pink hair. A lot of them had purple hair. A lot of them had blonde hair. It's all about expressing yourself the way you want to express yourself. That's what the whole, well, okay, I'm going to say emo. That's what emo is about. Goth is about something different. Goth is darker. I will give you that. It is darker. Oh my God. I saw something. What was it called? I can't.
My
I'll
soul
think
is a
of it.
thunderstorm, and I'm just sad as the rain
No.
pours. I feel the pain of
No.
every drop. Ooh, I'm paint my nails black. Is that what it is?
Shut up.
I'm so
No,
dark. Look at me.
that's not it. That's not it. That's emo. Gothic
That-
is something different.
Yeah.
Gothic is about like we appreciate structures and like the castles and maybe vampires. I don't
Ah.
care about werewolves, but vampires for me, vampires.
Did you watch that show on? I think it's Netflix or Hulu. It's a vampire show. It's a series. God, I forget the damn name. I watched the first episode and it was wild. There were
Interview with a vampire.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
I
and
read
tell you.
that book and then she pissed me off and I stopped reading her books
Why?
because she refused to do. I used to go to this little bookstore and they would have authors come in and sign books. And the books that they sold like regular books, but they also sold puzzles that you had to solve in order to figure out the ending of the book.
Yeah.
So I like to go there. And she refused to come because she said they were too small of an enterprise. So I stopped reading her books.
I mean, where's the bookstore at?
It was on Regent over by the cemetery. Perfect.
So it was a small bookstore, though, right?
Yes, it was a small bookstore, but you don't tell somebody that they're too small of an enterprise.
Did she tell everybody, or she just told the person who asked her?
No, she did a book signing at the university bookstore up on State Street, which isn't, a Barnes and Noble. So she could have did their, they were willing to pay her. People were willing to come and see her. And I got mad at her for saying that. And I just never read any more of her books. I was like, I don't have to give you any more of my money. But I did read Interview with a Vampire.
Guess you showed her.
Yeah, one book. She's written several.
We like my pain from you saying that.
Oh, bite me.
Burns a hole in my soul as I wear my dark clothes. I want to kill my mom. I want to kill my dad.
Nobody is saying that.
You can relate.
Come on, man.
You know what I really want to read is If I Did It by O.J. Simpson. I was just thinking of that book today. I was like, I really want to read that book because they say he confesses in that book, basically.
I think you'll find it on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon.
I couldn't do it.
Really?
Because I think the book is a lie. Because I don't think he did it.
Really?
I think he paid somebody to do it. I don't think he wasn't not involved. I don't think he was like, off in Bermuda somewhere eating tuna salad. I think he had something to do with it. But I don't think he did the actual killings himself. I don't believe that for a second. So what's he going to tell us in this book? If I did it. You didn't do it. We all know you didn't do it. You paid somebody to do it. So shut up and move around.
No, OJ did that shit.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I watched a lot of documentaries about that, about the time and a lot of shit that happened afterward and real videos. OJ did that shit. There was a documentary on Netflix. It was like 30 minutes long. It said, what happened to this bag or something like that. And it shows that when OJ came back from Chicago, because, he flew to Chicago the night of murder after it happened, and he had came back. And, like, the police was waiting for him. And so he get out the car, and you see him, like, walk over, and he talks to Robert Kardashian. And he was like talking to him, like, motion to the car about a bag or something. Robert Kardashian goes in the car, gets this one bag by itself, and takes it in the house, and the bag disappears. So they were saying that those were the bloody clothes that he had when he actually did it.
I don't think that I believe that, but I believe that whoever did the actual murders was trying to say, look, I will set you up, because I don't think that he made that last payment. you pay half up front, half at the end. I don't think he made that last payment, and I think he was being set up by whoever did the actual kill. Because I just don't think OJ got it into him or in him to shank somebody. I just not okay. Wait a minute. Let me quantify that statement. I think he can in the heat of the moment, but this happened days after the confrontation that he supposedly had with her.
OJ was whooping her ass for years, though.
I know that, but I just don't think that the conference, because he had an argument with her like a couple days before, right? And then this happened. I don't think the cool down period is what leads me to think
I don't think
he
it was
had
a cool.
somebody else do it.
I don't think it was a cool down period. I think he probably cooled down, but when he went there and seen the other guy there at the house, like, oh, for real, this is what we on? Okay.
Plus, they say he got set off because he was humiliated in front of people for not being allowed to sit at the table with them during dinner. She didn't want him sitting there.
Yeah, OJ was a hothead. That's from what the
I,
reports
I,
say.
I agree with that. I know OJ was a hothead, but
I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy theories like his son did it. That was one big one because his son is a hothead like him.
I always thought that he was involved, but I always thought he paid for somebody to do it because but I don't know, given the theory that he's a hothead, I don't know what happened immediately before. I wasn't there. And you know what? I didn't really care. I think he got away with something, whether he actually did it himself or if he paid for it to be done. He got away with something.
Well, he got away because it was the perfect storm of race relations in LA, LAPD being involved. You had a racist cop who found everything, which didn't, and you had lawyers who thought it was a slam dunk and didn't take it serious enough with the charges. They didn't show good enough case, and they set themselves up repeatedly with OJ got to try on the gloves. You don't tell nobody, warn them ahead of time that we're gonna have you try on some gloves because he stopped taking his meds to make his hands swell up. OJ did that shit. Allegedly, OJ did that. He can't get charged for it no more. So
yeah, and they found bloody socks under his bed, allegedly.
And the rest of the clothes was in his bag that he had in the back of his car, and Robert Kardashian took care of. They said he failed a lie detector. Well, he can't. Well, lie detector tests don't mean nothing, but
they do on Maury and they do on Steve Wilkos.
Steve Wilkos, get that shit off of TV, right?
If you mess up my 10 o'clock hour, I swear.
Get that shit off of TV. That's so fake. I hate when guys act tough when you can't do nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? Give me your chair. You need to stand up. You need to stand up. Give me your chair. You stand up. You don't deserve to sit down. Really?
But you agree to all of that when you sign the contract because they got a contract with all these people. It's trash TV. We know it's trash TV, but we watch it because it's trash TV. Okay, okay. Let me not involve y'all in my nonsense. I watch it.
I can't believe that
TV.
Steve Wilkos still comes on TV. That shit should have been taken off after one season.
I cried when they took Judge Jerry off TV.
Good. Take all that.
I just found out that Cheaters is fake.
Yeah.
You know how I know? Because they said they were casting in Miami for people who are good. It was on a cheaters show for cheaters, and you had to be good at ad-libbing and making up stuff as you go. And I was like, what?
I think it was real until the one host got stabbed, and he was like, okay, we can't do this no more.
I never knew that.
One of the hosts got stabbed because they called the guy, and he was like, what? And he got upset, and he pulled a knife and stabbed the host. So I'm guessing after that, they was like, you know what? Let's just set this. Let's make this. Let's just cast people for this because we can't have people getting stabbed.
I never knew that. Wow.
Oh, yeah. So I think it was probably real up into that part, and then after that, it's like, you know what, we can't afford these lawsuits because you stab me and I'm trying to host a show. I'm suing everybody, the cameraman, the the boom mic holder, everybody getting sued. You know what I'm saying? So they,
Yep.
it was right. That's why I can't even enjoy real TV anymore because the reality is so fake. And like all the skits on Instagram, all the skits on social media are just fake now. It's like it's nothing real anymore. Everything's always staged and everything, and it's so crazy. Everything is wrestling now. Everything's happening. The cameraman always having to be in the right place at the right time to catch all the action and catch everything.
Well, it's about to get
Yep.
really weird.
Why is it really weird?
Elon Musk is working on some kind of brain implant chip to help quadriplegic people be able to operate robots with their brains, and that's going off the rails because his trials are like killing animals and stuff. And what was the other one? There's another one I can't remember. It'll come back around. But yeah, it's they have the technology to create babies outside the womb now.
Why
I
would
think
you want that?
I think they've always had that. They just don't
No,
want to
but they're
publicly let
talking
people.
about like 400 of them in a room at one time.
Are you talking about that little animated little skit they showed? That little clip where they had the whole
Yeah,
room. No,
yeah. That's the technology they're talking about. No, it's not here yet, but that's what the technology they're talking about working towards. And I'm like, no, I've seen this movie. It's called The Matrix, and I'm not going there.
I don't buy it. They always talk about we're gonna have this and this and
But they already have the ability to create an infant outside of a womb. They already have that. They've done it outside of a mother's womb. They have a artificial womb already. But this is like a you can pick and choose your child and then grow it in a petri dish. Not going there.
I doubt it goes into full production because if they the way to I don't see it.
No, I want to see the evangelicals come out against that like they did about abortion.
And I think that'll be the people to come out against it, and more people like, no, this is stupid. Because it's weird because people get into that conspiracy theory about they trying to create babies, but then they also go to the conspiracy theory that where they're trying to do population control. Which one is it? That's why the conspiracy don't make no sense.
They are trying to do population control, but the populations they want to control are the black and brown people. They want to promote the creation of white people. But that's their argument is that that white babies aren't being produced in enough numbers now. And I'm like, wait, what?
That's the claim of the extreme right wing. But they won't.
No, that's the claim of the evangelicals. There's not enough white babies because they're losing the majority.
As long as you have electoral college, it'll all work out for you in the end. It'll all work out for you. So it all evens out because like they say, like we talked about, how many black people you think are what's the percentage of black people you think in the United States? What's the honest prediction? What's the honest answer? What do you honestly think the percentage is?
I've always heard it's 12.8 to 13%.
And you got people like people understand people who live in like if you live in Chicago, you're like, ain't no way that's true. It's got to be like no. But if you live in Wisconsin with us, yeah, that sounds about doable. It sounds about right. But if you live in like Florida, when I went, I was like, there's a lot of black people here. I'm like, you might not believe it.
But were they actual black people or were they Cubans?
Or they might have been Cubans, Haitians, Jamaicans. They probably did everything, but the thing is that
But they will differentiate themselves from black people
you're right,
instantaneously.
and that makes the number even less. So if you lived in Houston, you'll probably say, no, it's like 30, 20, I had an argument on Twitter where somebody's trying to say we like 45% to 50. I'm like, where do you live at? What world do you live in? He was in New York. And I was like, you can't believe that living in New York. There's all the diversity they have there. You cannot believe that there's the population of the United States is 50% black. You cannot believe that at all. You're muted, Marcy.
I know he's asking me if I wanted French fries. So I said, no, thanks. I'll get them in a minute. Yeah, it does depend where you live, though. Because when you're in New York, it's like, wow. It's like there's a lot of Middle Eastern people. I've never seen so many as I've seen in New York. I was like, dang, wow. I just don't see them where I live ever. And then I heard there's a bunch in Dearborn, Michigan. Somebody said there's a bunch of Middle Eastern people in Dearborn, Michigan.
Like when I was in Minnesota, where I was at in Minnesota, if you had told me, like, if you were born and raised there, and somebody told you that the Native American population was at like 30%, you'll believe it because it's a lot in Minnesota. So you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, but it's really not. I mean,
yeah.
Look, you see in Wisconsin, Kinshok, you don't see, there's people say there's a lot here, but
it depends on where you are. Because, like, the further north you go. Okay, well, let's see.
You go to the reservation?
Northwest.
Well, I'm being serious. I want to make a joke.
No, I'm saying it depends on where you are. Because here where we live, you see pockets. But, like, in the northern parts of the state, you do see, well, like you said, the reservations and things like that. But you got, like Oneida and, but those are reservations. So, yeah, you have a point. But.
And I love my Native American people. I love everybody, so I don't think I'm trying to just single them out. But I'm just saying, population. Is it population control, or are they trying to make millions of new babies from test tubes? You can't have both.
But imagine how much that's going to cost. So who is going to be able to afford that? It's not going to be Susie Ann that lives out on the farm out in Arena. She's not going to be able to pay for that. So how are they going to sustain that kind of facility with that kind of equipment without help from the government?
It's not going to happen.
I believe it is, and it terrifies me.
It's not going to happen.
That's Gucci babies. You go in, designer babies. You go in and you pick out what you want, and this is what we get. That scares me.
And
it worries me because we don't know what kind of brain trust is going into that.
You're worrying about something that's not going to happen. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. It's too much. It's too much.
It's 2022, right?
For another couple of weeks, yeah.
All right. I'm going to give you 20 years. If it hasn't happened by then, I will give you $100.
No, put $100 in a savings account with interest
Yeah, really.
and let it stay in there for 20 years, and then I'll get it all out in 20 years.
I can do that too.
Okay. Because you know what? Somebody say what?
What?
That's Marcy Diamond. You can find her on Twitter at Marcy Diamond 2. Why is it 2? Because it's her second Twitter. They banned the first one. You also find her on TikTok at Marcy Diamond. Her website is www.pog.life. I am Roz Mix. You can find me at all social medias at Roz_Mix. That includes Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. So check out my YouTube. Subscribe. Check out my videos. And that's Kinshok. Kinshok, how's your Twitter doing?
I surprisingly have gotten quite a few followers.
Are you interacting with them, saying hi? Do you say good morning on Twitter?
No,
No.
I've asked you to show me how to interact with Twitter because I don't know.
Just type in good morning one time and see what happens. Go on Twitter and type in good evening right now.
I will do that.
Go type in good evening right now on Twitter. See what happens.
Good evening.
Good evening, Governor.
No.
I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for watching. Make sure you keep sharing the stream, sharing the podcast.
Thank you.
All that good stuff. We love y'all. Thanks for our support. Any last words before we shut it down? I will see y'all next week. Y'all